On August 31, India and China accused each other of violating mutual consensus and established calm in the disputed area in the mountainous region of Ladakh. Ladakh until August 2019 was part of Jammu and Kashmir state of India, which has been a casus belli or cause of war between New Delhi and Islamabad in 1947, 1965 and 1999. The last one, the Kargil War, was held in the high grounds of above 4,000 meters of Himalayan mountains. On August 2019, Indian authorities unilaterally declared Ladakh a federal territory and separated it from disputed Kashmir. This decision ended this territory's semi-autonomous status and straining the already tense and rivalry relationship between two neighbouring Asian great powers. China strongly condemned the move, raising it at international forums including the UN Security Council. On August 29, the statement of China's People's Liberation Army said, India military forces carried out provocative military movements to change the status quo and violated the previous consensus arrived at during military and diplomatic engagements to settle the standoff in the region. Foreign Ministry spokesperson of China MFA Zhaojian said border forces were communicating over recent matters. Chinese border troops always act in strict compliance with the line of actual control, and have never crossed the line for any activities. China's Defense Ministry in its statement accused Indian troops of crossing established lines of control and creating provocations along the southern shore of Pangong Lake and nearby areas. According to China, Indian troops deliberately crossed the 3,379-kilometer de facto border, known as the Line of Actual Control, near Pangong Tso, a strategically located lake some 4.2 kilometers above sea level in the Himalayas. It points out that the Chinese military is now taking necessary actions in response, will closely follow developments and resolutely safeguard sovereignty over Chinese territory, along with peace and stability along the border. On August 30, 2020, India's Defense Ministry in its statement said that over 24 Chinese soldiers walked into Indian-held territory on August 29 night, where they were blocked by Indian troops and forced to go back. The Defense Ministry's statement said Indian troops undertook measures to strengthen our positions and thwart Chinese intentions to unilaterally change facts on ground. The incident took place on the southern bank of Pangong Lake, a glacial lake divided by the de facto frontier between the rivals and where the India-China face-off began in early May on the lake's northern flank. Indian media reported that latest incident occurred in Chushul sector, where the two sides were generally respecting each other's positions. Lieutenant General D.S. Huda, who served as the Indian military's northern commander, said, "We never had any problem in this place and we hold it pretty strongly. After relative calm, China has suddenly opened a fresh, brand new front. It's a huge provocation. Area of strategic and military importance. Pangong Tso is lake located south of the Galwan Valley. Most of it lies in the Chinese region of Tibet." Bharat Karnad, an expert in national security affiliated with the Indian Centre for Policy Research, said that the portion that India controls is strategically important as it allows Indian forces to move into striking distance of a key Chinese mountain highway linking the western regions of Tibet and Xinjiang. For India, the lake also serves as an important buffer to help defend the nearby region of Ladakh. According to Manoj Joshi, a distinguished fellow at the Observer Research Foundation, a New Delhi-based think tank, from a military stance, that's why it was defended strongly in 1962. The lake is a very obvious ingress route for military units looking to dominate or capture Leh, the largest town in Ladakh. Both keep relatively large contingents of troops in the border region, raising the risk of potential miscalculation in the event of sudden and unexpected clashes. Long Seeng Chun, president of the Chengdu Institute of World Affairs, said that because the China and India border has not yet been officially delineated, India is trying to consolidate its actual areas, and then to control more disputed areas through gradual encroachment. Analysts fear that rising nationalist forces in the world's two most populous countries could fuel these simmering border disputes, especially as both sides look to distract the public from the economic and human costs of the COVID-19 pandemic. New Delhi said that 20 Indian soldiers were killed during a bloody hand-to-hand standoff in the Galwan Valley not far from Pangon Lake in June 2020. China did not acknowledge casualties from that clash. Reference maps to in Ladakh. Number 1. Important landmarks and area of current face-off at Galwan River. Number 2. Galwan River at line of actual. Details of the disputed border in Ladakh. Out of the 857 square kilometers long border in Ladakh, only 368 square kilometers is the international border, and the rest of the 489 square kilometers is the lek. The two traditional disputed points included Trig Heights and Umkuk. At 8 points, the two sides have differing perceptions. But lately, China has raised two fresh dispute points at Pangong Tso 83 square kilometers and at Khumur where it claims 80 square kilometers. The old dispute sites were at the endpoint of Pangong Tso and at Chushul, the 1962 battle site. We highly appreciate as you sign up for our channel and put your likes. This is very helpful. Thank you for watching this video presentation. US President Donald Trump on May 27, 2020, offered to mediate between China and India. This offer was rejected by both China and India. The U.S. Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, also raised the issue in a podcast, and referring to China said that these were the kind of actions that authoritarian regimes took and that they can have a real impact. Russian embassy in New Delhi stated on June 1 that Russia maintains that the issue should be solved bilaterally between India and China. Russia initiated virtual talks between RIC, Russia, India, China, on June 22. Foreign Minister of Russia, Sergei Lavrov, said that the topics of border conflict in Ladakh for the meeting were already been agreed upon and the RIC agenda does not involve discussing issues that are related to bilateral relations of a country with another member. Russia argued that a Sino-Indian confrontation would be a bad idea for both the countries, for the Eurasian region and the international system. Russia said such confrontation will damage the Chinese legitimacy in the international system and will reduce the existing limited Chinese soft power. It had advised both the countries that it would be a winnable situation for both the countries with no confrontation. Conclusion: most likely the positions of both Washington and Moscow will not change at this point. Ongoing events mode on the ground in high mountains of Ladakh, uncompromising positions of India and China, history of the attempts to settle this problems allows us to conclude that simmering tensions between the two sides will continue. It is likely to expect flare-ups of the conflict when both China and India will attempt to change the status quo in the area. However, it is unlikely that New Delhi and Beijing, major great powers in the Asian continent, will risk escalation of the conflict with unpredictable consequences for their domestic stability and international standings. We highly appreciate as you sign up for our channel and put your likes. This is very helpful. Thank you for watching this video presentation.